preparations for Coq Au Vin. It's chicken cooked in red wine. So this is the day before we're gonna be cooking the chicken. I will add a couple of bay leaves and a couple of sprigs of thyme. You can also use dry thyme. And now I will be adding the red wine, and this is gonna sit in the fridge overnight for the chicken to marinate and absorb the flavors that were just added. So it will take a bottle of wine. Cover with saran wrap and park it in the fridge. Make sure to put the bay leaves and the thyme inside for them to soak. Before you go to bed, just flip the chicken again in the wine. Let all sides be soaked in it. Good morning. Today we're going to be doing Coq Au Vin. It's really a delicious dish that is easier than you think. You're not going to be disappointed. This is the chicken after it has marinated overnight. Now, to prepare this dish, I just want to show you what ingredients we're going to be needing. We need 8 ounces of mushroom, but I tweak this recipe to the flavors of my family and how they like it to be. So I'm using a little bit more. You can do a pound of mushroom. My family likes more the vegetables than the chicken, but especially my husband, he likes mushrooms. So you can do as much mushrooms as possible, as you wish. The least amount is 8 ounces. I have 2 medium onions that I'm gonna be cutting to slices. I have, here there is this Karaj. It's smoked pork tenderloin. I cut into pieces. I'm gonna cut it into small strips. You can use also bacon. You will need about 8 ounces of bacon. This is very intense in flavor, so this amount is enough. It's about 4 ounces here. I have salt, pepper, some butter to saute the mushrooms, brandy, and some flour to thicken the sauce. The mushrooms, we slice the mushrooms like this, but in this dish, I like to cut the mushrooms into quarters, just like that. Again, you can put your own input onto your own dish that you're gonna be cooking. Step 1. This is a pot I will be cooking the chicken in. I am rubbing a little bit of butter on the bottom of the pot, just like that. And now I will place the chicken in the pot, layering it. Almost forgot, make sure that you salt the chicken and also put some pepper. And that salt is gonna go all the way through, and we can add a little bit as is needed after. Put this on low heat, covered until the chicken cooks. Meanwhile, while this is cooking, I will be preparing all the other things that will go with this dish. So now that I have put the chicken to cook in its own juices and the juices that it absorbed from the wine that has been marinating overnight, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the karaj to strips. So I take those, I just stack them, and I simply cut them into strips. Okay, this is all done. Now I'll continue to cut the mushrooms into quarters. That's how I like it in this dish, not into slices, because I want it to be meaty and part of the main dish. Now it's the onion's turn. So I cut the onion in half, and I just cut into half moon slices. I'm heating the pan I'm gonna saute the Karaj first in butter, so the butter gets flavored with the smokiness and the tasty flavors of the Karaj. And then add about a tablespoon of butter. This is the butter I used also to spread in that pan. As soon as this melts, I'll add the Karaj. Into this, I will add the onions. Now the onions also will absorb the great flavor. At this point, I'm going to add a little bit salt, and we'll add more as we go. A little bit pepper. The mushrooms are cooking further, giving out their juices. I'll continue to cook until all those juices are absorbed, evaporated, because we're gonna deglaze those mushrooms with some cognac. The mushrooms absorbed all the juices. So at this point, I will add a little bit of salt, and I add it at the end because the salt makes the juices come out, and I want them to saute, not to steam. I'll put some pepper, and into this I'll deglaze with about 3 tablespoons of cognac. So we're gonna have a cocktail here. We have wine and we have cognac. But trust me, this is gonna make the flavor so much deeper and so much better. Now let the mushrooms absorb all that flavor, and I will put back in the onions and the Karaj or bacon if you're using bacon, and let them all just mingle together. At this point, I will also add a little bit of thyme, since we have that flavoring the chicken too. Some dried thyme. Okay, this is ready. So now I'm gonna cover this and turn off the heat, and we'll wait for the chicken to finish cooking so we can assemble the dish. Here's the chicken after cooking for an hour and 10 minutes it took. What I'm gonna do, it looks red because it is stained from the wine. So this chicken I will add into the mushrooms. I'll get rid of the thyme and bay leaves. It's easier to do it with this. Now see how much liquid that chicken gave out. I didn't add any liquid. I just put the chicken in a pot on a very small heat to cook through. This liquid is full of flavor. Into this, I will add a tablespoon of tomato paste. I will put the heat a little bit higher. Mix it, and then I will also add the leftover wine that I had marinated the chicken in. I will add it into the pot, and I will reduce this. We'll bring it to a boil. I will also add about 3 tablespoons flour. Mix well and make those clumps dissolve. When it does come to a boil, taste, and make sure that you have enough salt and pepper in it. At this point, this is boiling, and see how it got thick. I will try it. I'm sure it's gonna need a little bit salt, pepper, but let me see how much. So good, yummy. It does need a little bit salt. I'll add a tiny bit of pepper too. I'll reduce it a little bit further, and then this sauce is gonna go on top of the chicken, mushroom, onion mix. So here I'm satisfied with the reduction here. I will pour this over onto the chicken. I'll take out the bay leaf. Okay, this comes back here. Has boiled together with the sauce and the mushroom and the onion for about 5 minutes, and it is done. So I'm gonna turn it off and let it cool a little bit. These type of dishes, they are even better the next day since they absorb even more the flavors, but I'll show you how to dish it. It's gonna be a great to serve with mashed potatoes, so the mashed potatoes get drizzled with all that wine sauce. You can also choose to do it with some rice, pasta, French fries, whichever you choose. Time to taste. I poured myself a plate here. I did some French fries. It's better with mashed potatoes. I love French fries, so I air fried those potatoes too. So in overall, this dish became a very, very nutritious dish. We haven't fried the chicken since it's gonna be, you know, boiling in the sauce. So frying it, it's not gonna make it any crispier. It's soaked in wine, so you have all the antioxidants of the wine, the thyme. You have great deep flavors of the Karaj or bacon if you're using that, which is a small part of the whole dish. So you have mushrooms, onions, and wine and chicken. How can you go wrong? Let me try it. I'll put some, make sure to get a little bit of everything in here. I can't even explain how much flavor this dish has. It's like, oh my God, a mouthful. It's delicious. Try it. It's easy too. Marinate your chicken overnight. The next day you have nothing to do but, you know, sauteing the mushrooms and onions. The chicken cooks itself in that pot on its own. Try it.